Can you not ruin the vlog? What's up guys, Keelan Trainer here. We are in Boyneside Gym and we are 29 weeks out from King of the Platform 5 in Florida. Just over the Irish Pro, totaled 885, which is a 60 kilo total PR under pretty rough conditions. Was getting sick the morning of the comp and all the night before, so I was pretty happy with that. Coming into Florida hot though, hopefully we won't be competing while violently ill. And we are going head to head with Dr. Seth Albersworth to see who can put up the biggest total in December. Should be a bit of fun, and I am going to vlog my training all the way through it. So any of the camera stuff you can thank him for, but if it's bad, blame him too. Okay, so definitely not the most exciting movement to start the vlog off with, but we're going to be doing some tempo SSB squats. Simply for the fact that it's going to be hard. It is going to limit the load we're going to be using because I don't want to do anything too heavy coming off of a meet. Right. So what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to try and keep my hips underneath me the whole time so that I can maintain that alignment all the way through my torso into my pelvis so that we aren't seeing this kind of overextending on the way up. So hips are going to stay under, rib cage is going to stay down, neck is going to stay packed back, and I'm going to maintain that the whole way through. Okay, so belt is on, so I'm going to really try and maintain that brace out into it the whole time. And when I look back at the video, if I start to see my ass flick up and my tension here go, it means I'm not doing a good enough job. So let's do a good job. So from here we might be able to see what my torso is doing a little bit more. Plates are blocking it the other way. I would also want to keep my head up a little bit. I think nearly the hat is making me keep it down. So let's pull that up, get that out of the way, and we'll get going. These are hard. And watching that back, it looks like my upper back's a little bit roundy. Now I am purposely pulling everything forward here to drive back against, but I do have pretty poor T-spine mobility, so got to work on that and drive that head back even harder and try and pull everything back a little more there without giving up that rib cage down position, because it's all about ribs down, hips under, and then fighting back, pulling that shin back. So that T-spine extension is fighting against rib cage pulling down, and that's what's creating a really strong brace for your squats and for your deadlifts. All right, let's go last one. Ooh. It's only 2 plates, but that is pretty hard. I am glad that's done. Yep. There you go, one more. Up. Yeah, you're in. Huh?
I mean, it really feels like you're not in and you're in.
Yeah, for sure. That is why we prefer the Elite FTS model. Was it not recording now? No. Okay, cool. Okay, and so I don't mind using straps for any of my back work or really any work except for my main deadlift stuff, because I know I'm going to be doing some extra grip work at the end of the session to stay on top of that. And I think some of the old school guys just shout, never use strap for anything and just hold on to the bar and that will build your grip. But if I really want to focus on my back, I want to use straps. But then some of the newer guys are kind of just always using straps and don't actually build their grip strength at all. And then when it comes to their main deadlifts, they got nothing. So I'm going to use straps on my back work, and then I'm going to do some extra grip work on top of that. And so most of the time what I want to see with my guys doing any sort of chest supported row is some head pack as they come up, because that's what we're looking for in our squat and our deadlift. And we're trying to use our lats in connection with that T-spine extension. is hot here. It has been really hot for the last couple of weeks. We are not used to it here. Normally we have layers on in the gym. But between that and then coming off a bit of a sickness, I am very dehydrated, so things are starting to cramp up pretty bad. So I got my electrolyte, salt, carbs and water here. Keep me going. And most of you guys should definitely have some sort of intra-workout fluids, carbs, salt, water, and you'll be good. Because we don't have one of those fancy plate-loaded back extensions like the guys who at the Realm, we are rigging this little thing up. A lot more effort to set up. Probably doesn't just feel as good as what the guys got, but close enough. And what I'm typically looking for when I give my guys back extensions is actually less of a back extension and to treat it more like a hip extension. Typically because raw guys need a little bit more glutes, a little bit less archiness in their low back, because we actually don't want to arch our low back in any of our main lifts. If you are kind of using it as a tool to rehab your low back or just build strength in your lower back, totally awesome. But for me, like I talked about earlier, I'm going to build up my glutes so that I can help use them to push into my quads. So here we go. And it might look like a really short range motion, but it kind of is, because I'm not trying to arch all the way back out of it. I am just trying to get nice connection with my glutes here. Okay, let's go again. So again, all I'm looking for is that really intense glute contraction the whole way through. Not trying to arch up out of it, because if I start arching, I'm going to lose the connection with the glutes and it's just going to go all low back, which how it's feeling right now. I don't really need any more low back coming in. And we're going to be sore tomorrow. Plan with the leg extensions is kind of just to murder my quads, because everything else, there's a lot of intent going into it, and like we're trying to carry it over to what it's going to do in our main movement, which is super important. But we also are just coming out of a meet, trying to get a bit of conditioning in, grow a little bit of muscle. So I am just going to do some sets, do some Myo-reps at the end of my sets. Yeah, and blow up these quads. See if I can get them a bit bigger for Florida. With leg extensions, especially with this machine, there isn't a huge amount of tension at the bottom, the way the levers and physics and stuff works. So I'm intentionally going to go a little bit slow out of the bottom and then squeeze into it as it gets tough towards the top. Because on this machine, it's pretty easy just to kick and get the weight straight up to the top with a little bit of momentum. And these leg extensions, my legs are tired, but we don't need a huge amount of rest here. So we're back into it. So take a rest, one more set. At the end of this set, I am going to do some Myo-reps, and I know people do Myo-reps a little bit different sometimes, but what I do, 5 deep breaths, start cranking out to failure, 5 deep breaths, go to failure, and repeat that process until I can't get a set of 5 in my Myo-reps. They're pretty nasty. But I'm not going to cheat because I don't want to be here all day. I'm going to actually just go slow out of the bottom and try and get a connection. Might mean less work, but it's more quality reps. All right, let's go. Oh, you mightn't get as many as I thought. Okay. And that's enough. Oh, cramp. And now, almost there, we're going to do some ab work. We're right next to the speaker, so apologies if you can't hear anything. And I guess if you can't hear anything, you didn't hear that apology. So I suppose I'll voice over if I have to. But we're going to do some GHR sit-ups, and what I want here is to not again overextend. So pretty much every lifter I deal with, myself included, has a tendency to arch into their squats, overarch your deadlifts, and like it comes from a fear of your back rounding, and it's taught by everybody. I used to teach it when I didn't know what I was doing. Not even when I didn't know what I was doing, it was like people just didn't know this, that back rounding was bad, so the way to stop your back rounding was to arch the other way. But we want to keep that neutral spine and lock it in. So we are going to keep things kind of neutral here. Feet right up, abs down, out to parallel, pull up. I'm glad we don't have any mirrors in the gym because I'd be admiring the quads all day. Last one. Oh my God, the worst ab cramp I've ever got. And that might mean no more GHR sit-ups. Oh, that was sore. I'm gonna walk around like this now for the next half hour. And I'm definitely calling it there. Whoa. Anticlimactic way to end this vlog. But we do have grip work, so I'm gonna chill out for a minute, wait till this calms down. We're gonna do some barbell finger rolls. And with grip work, I used to do a lot of it. My grip's pretty strong now, but I just want to maintain it, just top it up with this meet. And if I realize it's not gonna be an issue at all coming into the meet, I will pull it out probably relatively early on. But it's something that's pretty easy to do at the end of a session or on an off day. The biggest thing I found was if you really need it, you gotta push it. If you don't really need it, you probably don't need to push it that much, because if you're pushing your grip work pretty hard, it's gonna bleed into your next sessions and you are gonna lose a little bit. I did notice my bench press when I did a lot of grip work the day before, things just didn't feel as good. So right now, when I don't really care about my numbers and I'm worried more about just condition, putting on a bit of size, figuring things out a little bit more, I'm gonna start doing a bit more. And then when it comes to it, I'll drop it a bit. But right now, I'm gonna do some finger rolls. So, grabbing the bar, pull it up, squeeze, leave it down into the fingertips, squeeze. Yeah, we'll go up. And with how crampy I'm kind of feeling, I'm not going to overdo it here. Save a little bit for the rest of the week. I am definitely dehydrated still. A few days after the meet, my piss is that colour for a while. And off camera, hands are cramping up, forearms cramping up. So we'll just do one more set of this and call it a day, I think. Okay, so that was the first attempt at vlogging training, so sorry if it's pretty rubbish, but thank you if you stayed this long. I don't know why you would, but appreciate it. And so kind of the big focus going into training from now and pretty much forever is going to be figuring out intent and intensity, not just one or the other. And what I mean by that is you've got to have both, but intensity is just training hard. We can all do that and we all need to do that. But intent is what we're thinking about when we're doing each movement, from our lightest accessories all the way to our main work. So on our chest supported rows, we are trying to get some lat tension as we drive the chin back. On our hack squats, we're really pushing into the knees, trying to go to quads, get strong at the bottom end of our squat. In our safety bar squats, I was trying to keep the hips under, keep that torso stacked the whole time. Because we can train hard, we can push anything hard, but pushing it hard and not having it carry over as well as it could to our main work is, it's not pointless, but it's just not as good as we could be. And if you want to be a good lifter, you got to do everything well. So intent versus intensity, know the difference, use them both. And I'm probably going to be vlogging most of my training sessions from now on, try and figure out this camera stuff. And I don't know where I'm going to post it, but if you follow along, I will try and make them as valuable as I can. And if you want more value, come check us out here at Bointside in Drogheda. We have an awesome team of lifters of all levels, you know, closing in that 900 total. We've got lifters getting ready for their first ever competition, all age groups, all weight classes, from raw up to multiply. Yeah, and if you want some one-to-one online coaching, I do that. And if you want to join the team activated group community with Seth Albersworth, my coach, it is awesome. The guys in there are doing really, really great. I'll be in there pretty much every day from now on, helping out, and I'll be posting my own training in there too. So guys can see what I'm looking for if they don't bother watching those vlogs, which I wouldn't blame them. But so yeah, check out the gym here. You're very welcome to come down and try it out. Hit me up for some online coaching if you want, or just want some questions answered, or just some advice, or check out the group community. And we are basically trying to bring powerlifting to a new level, show what good coaching is at half the price of most of the things out there. So thanks for listening, and maybe like and subscribe if we put this on YouTube.